Hi there, my name is Gracia and I am an accent coach and I work with actors all around Europe, and one of the things that I really focus on is understanding the tone and intensity of your words. So one of the things that I like to discuss is really falling in love with or hating a word. So if this is something that you're interested in, stay tuned. So one of the issues that people have is when it comes to the tone and intensity of American accents, American speech, the rhythm in whatever your native language might be, the rhythm is going to be slightly different, of course. As when you're studying any language, when you're understanding a different accent, you'll realize that there are differences in the rhythm of our speech and in the tone that we use. So it can be really frustrating as an actor when you're trying to find that rhythm and tone in your American character, and it's just not quite matching all of the work that you've done, all of the work that you've put into understanding this character. So what you want to do is dissect the text. That's the easiest thing. You can do this in so many different ways, but one of the ways that I do is really understanding the words that you're using. Really understand the words that are in the text and the words that you need to, that need more emphasis. So if you want to find that tone, if you want to find that rhythm, what is the purpose of this text? What is the purpose of the script? What is the purpose of the entire script that you're working on? What's the purpose of it? So what it comes down to is culture, right? That's really the main thing that you're really focusing on, is understanding American culture. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I worked with an amazing actor a while ago, and in his text, he had the word big, right? There was this word big. That was the main word that was used throughout the text, was big. And we're going through and working on his accent. Everything is coming out great. It's great. It's great. And then I said, okay, but now we need to really punch the word big. It needs to be more. I need to feel more. I need to understand why you're using the word big. And we talked about it for a little while, about why is this such an important word in America, right? If you understand anything about American culture, bigger is everything, right? You want a bigger house, you want a bigger car, you want a bigger paycheck, you want, everything, your yard has to be bigger, everything has to be bigger and better. That's the whole thing. Years ago, there was even an ad for a car, like a truck or something, and the whole thing was, it was in this ad, the whole time they were saying bigger is better. And if I remember right, they were saying it in like different accents around America. And I thought that was so interesting. Like, that's a perfect example of big. Even in America, they use bigger is better in an ad, right? We all know the sizes of houses, of cars, of even furniture. Everything is big. So why would it be so important in this text that we really emphasize big? And the reason being is that you also have little. So in this text, this character, this man, has to emphasize that, big is the goal. That's what he wants. Everything has to be big. And when he says the word little, he's almost spitting the words little, right? It's disgusting coming out of his mouth. And so this is what I mean by, having that love and hate. That's two extremes, of course, I understand, but you really want to to fall in love with the words in the text, because when you're thinking about just simple things, right? Just for example, if I'm talking about my favorite color is black. It always has been. That is my absolute favorite color. And if I'm having a conversation with someone, which I have, and people say, black isn't a color. No, that's, I'm like, no, no, no. Black is, if we're talking about pigment, black is all of the colors. Black is a culmination of every single color that nature can provide. Black is all of the colors. Black is the absence of light, whereas white is all of the colors, all of light combined. So when I'm talking about something as simple as my favorite color, you can see that my tone changes. Just something as simple as colors. So when you're working on your text, what is your character thinking, right? When you're working on your text, what is your character thinking and feeling when it comes to certain words? Just simple, something simple. How is your character reacting to this word that could be completely meaningless to any other person? Again, going back to the example of big, for any other person in that scene, no one else would have cared about big. Possibly no one else would have cared about this man going on this rant about big. But it was important to this man. It was so important that even saying the word little, it was almost as if he had to get it out of his mouth. It was, I don't even want that, just little. You know, what's in comparing big and little, right? So once I was able to break through that with my client, it was so easy to see how this actor could transform words on a page into life, because he gave life to these words, these silly, meaningless words that any other context would mean absolutely nothing. But in the context of this character, of his personality, of his style, of his expectations, this simple word meant everything. Whereas the opposite meant nothing. It was nothing. It was meaningless. It was garbage. So really what I want you to do is dissect the text. Take it apart, line by line, word by word. What are those words that to your character mean everything? And what are the words that mean absolutely nothing? Because that's where you're going to find those gems, find those extra pieces that you wouldn't see elsewhere, right? Those are the things that are going to set you apart from other actors. Those are the pieces that are going to set you apart from anyone else auditioning for that role, is if you can find that passion, that fire in that text. Why would someone fall in love with this word? And why would someone feel absolute hatred for this word, and to the point of practically spitting it out? And again, it has a lot to do with culture. So a lot of what I coach has everything to do with understanding American culture. I think that's something that is missed a lot, is why is it so important to change the way that we communicate? Because it has a lot to do with culture. American culture has a lot to do, has everything. American culture has everything to do with the way that we communicate. Even just to the stereotype of Americans are so loud. Why? Why is it that everyone thinks Americans are so loud, right? Where to us, this is our inside voice, right? Why is there a difference? What is the difference culturally? Why does my character need to, why does my voice need to practically boom when I enter a room? Why is that important? It's important because of culture. So if you ever have any questions about understanding, that American culture, those little pieces that will set you apart from anyone else, don't hesitate. Just reach out. I have an entire 6-week training program where I go into understanding the culture of your character and how to understand the sounds of that are going to be so indicative of your character. Those sounds that no one else is going to sound like this because this is your character. So in my program, we break down all of those individual steps and break down those things that make up who your character is, making that difference between big and little might not be that big of a deal in another country, right? It might not be that big of a deal. It might not really mean all that much. But in America, it means everything, right? It means absolutely everything. And you can easily put that into context with almost any character. How would your character feel about big or little? And they might feel different. Little might be the better word. Little might be the goal. Maybe they've always been big and they want to be little. They want, right? Understanding how we use words makes a huge, huge impact on how you can communicate authentically. So, if you have any questions about anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm always, always interested in having more conversations and adding to the conversation of accents. I think it's just fascinating and very, very exciting for me. So yeah, please be sure to subscribe. I will be adding more videos on a regular basis. I'm going to try to, at least. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I will see you next time. Bye.